Zdravo svima, dobrodošli u još jednu epizodu specijala Agelast podcasta u saradnji sa Sarajevo Film Festivalom. Kao što znate, svaki put kada je Sarajevo Film Festival, evo već 5. godinu za redom, tu smo i tokom celokupnog trajanja festivala donosimo vam intervjue sa ljudima iz sveta filma. Ukoliko niste vidjeli nijednu epizodu u prethodnih nekoliko dana, čeka vas ogroman izbor vrlo zanimljivih intervjua, a ovaj razgovor je poslednji u nizu i kojim završavamo 2026. godinu i za kraj smo vam spremili pravu poslasticu. U pitanju je glumac Liam Cunningham. Liam Cunningham je čovjek koga verovatno najveća većina vas zna kao legendarnog Ser Davosa iz Game of Thronesa. Za one koji su ljubitelji naučne fantastike znaju ga iz serija poput Three Body Problems, ali naravno za prave filmofile znaju ga iz filmova poput Hunger ili iz filma When Wind Shakes the Barley, Kena Loacha i tako dalje. Vrlo je živopisan i zanimljiv lik koji pored svoje bogate glumačke karijere ima izuzetno bogatu karijeru u aktivizmu. U vezi sa time ovdje je došao da spoji te dve stvari. Glumio je u filmu Palestine 36 koji je zapravo došao da promoviše ovdje i naravno da razgovara u velikoj meri o temama koje dotiče ne samo taj film, nego i ono što se tiče humanitarne krize u svetu danas. Dakle, naš sljedeći gost, Liam Cunningham. Uživajte. Well, this is a pleasure and an honor to have you here.
It mightn't be a pleasure for long. It's a pleasure now.
Well, from what I've heard so far, because you've been here for quite a while now, and I've heard all the best things about you.
People lie, you know our business.
I know. But these people are my friends.
Okay.
So they would tell me honestly.
Probably bigger lies.
Possible.
As your friend. I like you, of course. I'm your friend.
Yes. So how did you like it so far? Because you've been throughout almost the entire festival.
I was just before. I would have been here probably on the Friday for the opening, but I'm filming in Budapest at the moment.
Okay.
So yes, I had 3 days of hell. And came here on the Saturday.
So what are you filming at the moment?
Three Body Problem.
Second season?
No, we finished the second season at the end of February, and now we're doing the final season.
Nice.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't have any official date.
Yeah.
But the end of the year, early next year, potentially. For season 2, and then by that time we'll be finished season 3. So there won't be as long a wait as there was between season 1 and season 2. I think the producer thought I might die of old age between season 1 and 2.
No. So you play a very interesting character in season 1, quite different than your other characters, I might say.
The only other character I've ever done. Yeah. Davos. Would that be Davos?
No. I liked you actually in various different films, pretty much, and I kind of found some parallels in between characters.
Oh, which psychiatry. Go ahead. Enlighten me, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe you can help me.
Yeah. So basically, I really wanted to talk to you about couple of characters. One of them is of course Ser Davos, but I can't imagine how annoying it is to talk about Ser Davos.
No, not at all. I think it's going to be. I've got my headstone ready for when I die.
Okay.
And I've got Liam, Game of Thrones Cunningham. It's going to be on my headstone. No, listen. If I'm remembered for that, I don't care whether I'll be dead. But if somebody wants to remember me for Davosa Seawortha, it's some of the best writing I've ever been involved in, and it's beautiful. And
I know, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? It's one of the things you strive for in career, to have a character like that, to be big as Ser Davos became big, become like a cultural icon.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
But on the other hand, you can live now without being Ser Davos.
Oh, no, that's not a problem. That's other people's problems. It ain't my problem.
Okay.
That's just what I did. It's not who I am. So that's fine. No, it's the amount of people that come up and sort of say thank you, and they loved it and went on that 8-9 year journey. And there's a lot, I see a lot of smiles when I'm walking around, which is very nice. It's better than being spat at.
Exactly.
Or kicked.
That's exactly
so,
true.
I'll take it. anytime.
Yes, and Game of Thrones did wonderful things for Croatian tourism, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I was in. Actually, it was because of here. It was my first time to see the Old Town in Dubrovnik, and then it was many years later when Game of Thrones, and I came back and it turned into a Game of Thrones supermarket. And it was very difficult. And I said, what's it like here? And they went, don't take off your hat and leave your sunglasses on and look at the ground as you're walking, or you'll be torn limb from limb here.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was very different. But look, it's a wonderful thing. The people had plenty of architectural reasons and heritage reasons to go to the Old Town. Now they've another reason to go.
Yeah.
So it's really nice, and there's some people making money from it. What a nice thing.
Yeah. Well, ask locals, see what they feel about it.
No. Yeah, of course. Well, there's probably some locals there with restaurants who are buying new cars because of Game of Thrones,
Probably, yeah. But over-tourism is a problem in itself.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Which is, everywhere we can. So basically, Ser Davos is one of maybe the only stand-up guy in the entire cast of characters over there.
John Bradley was a good guy, the bookworm.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was a couple, but I suppose, he was described
keeping the moral high ground.
Yeah, the moral compass.
Moral compass, yeah.
And I think, from a creative point of view, Davos was a device, because there was so much chaos and corruption and murder and various forms of sex.
Yeah.
That you had a danger of in a little way, of the show sort of reflecting anarchy and hopelessness. And I always thought Davos kind of was the audience. I always thought he asked the questions the audience wanted to ask, and a decent man. And even in the midst of this horror, there was still one or two characters who would go up and go, "We cannot do this. We're better than that." So he's kind of the conscience, and I did like that he was kind of asking the questions that the audience.
But he was not only a moral compass; he was also, in a way, a fatherly figure.
Oh yeah. A couple of the younger ladies.
Yeah.
And to Jon Snow as well. I suppose he was his, conciliatory,
But he was also at the same time not just only like a noble figure, but there was like this. How would I put it? He had this stature of like a stoic stature, someone who was deeply caring, deeply emotional, but not over like keeping it to himself. So and a lot of your acting was like holding that suspense, like holding the tension of like seeing how emotional he is. But he
refused to believe or see the bullshit. Yeah, and he stood up. He had a wonderful morality about him, a decency, a genuine, and he was funny as well. I like, he had a sense of humor, but he had a joie de vivre. I miss all Davos.
Yes, and one of my dearest scenes of Ser Davos was the confrontation. I forgot her name. Melisandre. Yeah, the confrontation with Melisandre when he burned.
When he finds the burnt. Okay, well, let me tell you the horrible reality of that particular scene. This is, it's a beautiful scene, and it's the first time you see him really angry and his heart broken
and emotional. Deeply.
So when we were filming that, there was a 24-hour bug going around his stomach thing, right? And Kit got it, and they had, which is unusual on a film schedule. They had a day in hand, an insurance day, that if anything went wrong, they weren't going to be in trouble. So they said, you know what, we're going to stand down, not do the scene, and stand down the crew for that day to let Kit get over it, because a few other people had it, so they knew what it was going to do, and that was fine. Except when we were going back to work, I got it. And there was no day. Kit had got the day. This is what happens when you're a curly-headed, beautiful man instead of some Irish fool. And I was ill, really ill. In fact, you see me walking. The first shot is, I said, I want to have the thing in hand. I'm going to throw it to her because it's not like Davos. Davos' character would have gone over and explain this or whatever. And I went, I'm not taking her bullshit anymore. So I said, I'm going to fucking throw it at her. Oh, sorry about the language.
No problem. Here it's allowed.
Oh, okay. Don't tell me that I'm Irish. It'll be every second word. Don't give me permission.
Please, you have permission.
No. So there was a bucket outside the door for me. And I was outside swallowing heavily for waiting for the go-ahead.
Like gulping.
Yeah. And there was every possibility that in the middle of the scene I was going to turn into a shot from The Exorcist.
That would be wonderful blooper.
Oh no, I'd be great for blooper reel, but not great for the show. So I was pretty bad during the entire shooting of that scene, but in a weird way, his heart is broken. He's broken. What has happened to Shireen? So. If it's going to be a jolly scene or bam, it would have been very difficult. But you use what you have for the scene.
Yeah.
And it kind of added to it. I mean, it's not the way I like to work.
Yeah, of course.
But I was really badly ill during that kind of high temperature, high emotional scene. Which was a bit weird, but it's a cool scene. The guys are just.
Do you follow House of Dragon?
I haven't really seen it. I have seen what's the Knights of the Seven Kingdoms thing.
Yeah.
My son said that on the tape because also both of us have short attention spans. It's only like 40 minutes long and it's quite short. And when you're part of something like that, and another show comes in that's in the same world, but you're not part of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult.
In which way?
Well, because it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
And you've had no participation. I mean, it's different for an audience because they've watched Game of Thrones, they watch House of Dragon, they watch bump. They've a similar sort of investment in it. But when you're in the show, when it's been part of your life for that amount of time.
Yeah, it was a long
Like,
time.
yeah, and it's like House of the Dragon went behind our back. They cheated on us. And then didn't invite us to the party.
Yeah.
So you get a bit... But no, that's the initial kind of feeling because it was such a beautiful time. But my son sat me down and I watched the Knights of the Seven Kingdom. And I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great. I was well invested. The kid and the other Irish guy that's playing it.
Yeah.
I really liked them.
The comedy aspect of it.
Yeah, it's good.
Wonderful.
And the battle, the violence is really cool. But it's done really, really well.
Yeah, talking about violence, you've acted in a couple of wonderful films where I can put like a straight line in character building, but in a very different ways, but also from a moral high ground, but also somebody who's who's trying to keep the emotions to themselves, but being this fatherly figure and trying to balance everything out. And being, as you said, moral compass for the viewers, but for the characters also. Mm-hmm. So one would be the Ken Loach film.
Oh, The Wind Shakes the Barley, yeah.
When Wind Shakes the Barley, yes. Yeah. One, then from the film, yeah. And the other one would be Hunger from Steve McQueen. Yeah. Steve McQueen, yeah. So I would like to, and there's like so you have Melisandre scene here, but over there you have like when Wind Shakes the Barley scene when the judge is making decision in the name of the old woman,
the lady judge,
the lady judge for the Republican.
That really happened. All that stuff happened.
Yes. Yeah. So I would like to talk about a little bit, and of course the legendary 17-minute one-shot scene.
Actually, people get that wrong. Listen, I wasn't watching my performance with a stopwatch, but somebody said the scene is 22 and a half minutes.
But one shot?
There's 17 and a half minutes before the first cut.
Before the first cut, yes. And 22, 23 minutes.
I don't want to do that anymore. I'm never doing that again. I've done it, get away. It's fine. It nearly killed me. No.
So let's talk about that scene.
Okay.
That scene first. So what it took from you and Fassbender.
Lies. It took lies. It was kind of a bizarre process because, funnily enough, either side of Hunger, I was doing The Mummy, Tomb of the Emperor Dragon. And for various reasons, one of them being the taxman was after me. But mainly, when me and the family go away on holidays, when they were like this height, the first two Mummy movies are fantastic, right? The Brendan Fraser movies. One of the main reasons is that the characters around the three people, Rachel Weisz and John and Brendan, they're fully formed, they're funny, they're cowards, but they're usually hilarious. And there's a tongue-in-cheek aspect to those movies on Hollywood budgets, on huge sets and all that. And I just like that. I'd like these roller coaster movies occasionally. When they're done well and done with heart, not just made by committee. So when we went away on holidays, because it rained so much in Ireland, the last thing into the suitcase was the DVDs of Mummy 1 and 2. And if it was horrible outside, or if we have, as in Ireland, we do horizontal rain with the wind, right? And you can't go outside or you'll die.
We do have it from time to time in Belgrade, in Serbia.
I'm sure. Yeah. But we have it a lot. We're right on the edge of the Atlantic. The Atlantic attacks Ireland. Yeah. So they were thrown in, and I'd go off. We get some takeaways, blah, 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 and we'd sit down and we put them on, and this would happen on a regular basis. And they're on repeat. They're pretty good. They're funny. So a script comes in, and I say to my wife and kids, I said, "You'll never guess what they've just sent me. The Mummy 3." And I didn't have a choice at all. They just said, "You are doing it." Jumped back. It was fearsome. And in the script that they'd sent me, he was Australian, and I went, "No, I'm not doing that." So I did. They wanted a tape. They were in, and I was in Dublin, so I got a friend of mine in. I said, "I'm changing all this. I'm going to make him Irish."
Oh, okay.
And I did it, and just sent it off, expecting, "How dare you? Our script writers have spent years making this character Australian, the whole lot." And the guy who was doing the taping with me, when I finished, I said, "Okay, send it off." And he went, "Liam, you can't send that. You can't. It's nothing that you've done is what they asked." And I said, "Send it, I don't care." And a month later, the script came back with the character Irish, an offer, the whole lot. And I went, "Okay, my agent, we have a very good negotiating position here now."
Yeah.
And I agreed to do it. Cut to, now you're saying, what's this got to do with Hunger? Mm-hmm. They had talked to me about Hunger just before. I'd flown to London to see Steve McQueen, and I didn't want to because of the one that shakes the barley. So I'd done an IRA movie, even though it's much bigger than that. And not only had I done an IRA movie, but we won the Palme d'Or.
Yeah.
And it just didn't get any better. And I was working with Ken
And the best Irish film also.
Yes. And I didn't want to do another IRA. And I got to work with Ken Loach is one of the reasons I'm acting.
Sorry, and I think you also got the award for that film too.
Yeah, I got everybody got awards. Yeah. So when they contacted me and said, "Look, we have this black British artist, video installation artist, right? So he's obviously got nothing to do with Ireland. I think it's Nigerian background. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't exactly know the vibe in Ireland. Yeah. He'd never worked with actors. He'd never made a movie. And he won the Turner Prize for his hugely talented man. I was aware of some of his work and admired him. But what the hell has he got to do with Ireland?" So he said, "We want you to send this film about Bobby Sands, IRA, a hunger strike." And I went, "I don't think so." And I'm not in. They said, "Look, please read the script." And the scriptwriter was Enda Walsh, who is a partner of Cillian Murphy.
Okay.
And he wrote this incredible script. So I read it. And I'm in it, for people that don't know, I'm in it for one scene, but it's 28 pages of a conversation, just me and Michael Fassbender. And I read it, and I was completely blown over. But I still wasn't convinced. I just really wanted to do it. But I was really scared about a man from his cultural background having a knowledge or a feel for this. So I went over and had lunch with him in London. And I literally, after we finished lunch, I walked out of the restaurant, I closed the door, pressed a button on my phone and said to my agent, whatever he wants, I'm in. He convinced me over lunch. He was extraordinary.
In which way? In which way he was extraordinary?
His thinking about... Well, I'll show you in a second when I tell you what happens. It'll become apparent.
Okay.
So the job for The Mummy was a month in Montreal where they had all the sets. We did the Himalayas in Montreal. And then there was a big break of July, August and September. And then in October I was going to China, Shanghai Studios. So I said, that's the gap that we can do. We can do Hunger. So fine. So I did my month in Montreal. I told everybody there, I said, this really interesting thing I'm going to do. They asked me what I'm up to. And they said, wow, 28-page scene. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And it was fine. And then I got the dates to do Hunger. And I said to my agent, please let the Universal people know that I'm doing this other film, because they have contracted me from May to October. So my agent got back and said, you're going to have to drop Hunger. And I said, why is that? And I said, they're looking for an insurance premium to cover their ass in case anything happens to you on the Hunger set. And it was huge money. And the Mummy budget was like 160 million or something. Anyway, they started getting nasty about it. And I basically said to my agent, I said, I'm taking this out of your hands. Tell them I'm doing Hunger. You're not getting the insurance premium. And if you've got a problem with that, I'm not going to Shanghai. Now, wow. I had them by the balls because I'd already shot for a month in Montreal. There was nothing they could do with it. And I got an email back from Universal saying, that'll be fine. Then...
That's some leverage position, huh?
You asked the question about why is he like he is, Steve. So I said, yes, I'd gone out. I'd put my career in jeopardy. For my fee for Hunger was £5,000. That was it. And I, because they had no budget. It was an art house picture, tiny. They weren't going to give a big budget to a guy who'd never made a movie before, hadn't even worked with. So understandable. So I get up to Belfast to do some rehearsal and research, and Steve McQueen decides to tell me that I'm thinking of shooting this in one take, one shot. And I looked at him, and my artistic response to Steve was, are you out of your fucking mind? How the hell are we going to hold an audience for 28 pages of dialogue on a locked-off camera, not even any movement on the camera, and we're silhouetted against a window. You can barely see it's us. And he goes, I think it'll work. So here's how he thinks differently, because he made me think differently. I hadn't given the possibility of him doing that any thought at all. When I read this thing, I went, how are they going to shoot this? Is it going to be a circular track, and as we do it slowly, are we popping in to see the eyes all the time? What's going on? These two gunslingers either side of the table. And I said, I have to reread the script fresh, as if I'd never read it before, to see if we can potentially hold an audience without them either leaving, vomiting, or snoring in the cinema. And that's down to the quality of Enda's writing. I reread it and I went, this could hold, because the writing was so good. And that's kind of where his art comes in. He makes you think of things a different way, both his audience and his performers. And it's small details. He does it in various movies. He did it in Hunger subtly, even after that scene. And I'd said it to him again, back to the art thing. When we saw the movie, the scene immediately after the big dialogue scene is a guy with a rubber brush.
Yes, yeah.
Who is mopping piss down the floor, and it's 9 minutes long. The audacity.
Yeah.
And I said to Steve, and this is again about the art thing, I said, How could you do that? It's like getting a gun and just shooting yourself in the foot. Not only have you begged an audience, requested an audience to sit through this 28-minute, which kind of breaks the rules of modern cinema. Yeah. But immediately after, you've got a silent scene for 9 minutes. I said, why did you do that? And he said, I wanted, in that scene, the brushing scene, I wanted them to meditate on what they just heard in the previous scene. So he wanted, as an audience, to think about what you just heard without the distraction of more dialogue on it.
To unravel the dialogue, to reflect.
To reflect on what you just heard, that these men are going to start killing themselves.
So he's actually letting the film happen in their heads.
100%.
Yes.
And giving you room.
Yes.
To review the previous scene.
And it's
the next scene.
And it's such a powerful scene because it's a turning point. It's for people who don't know, it's the moment when Fassbender is announcing a hunger strike
to a priest.
Yeah.
And in the Catholic faith, which is a bit ridiculous, is that it's a huge sin to kill yourself. I mean, it doesn't really matter after that, really, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to punish you.
Yeah, but also it shows because he's leaning toward you, but you're kind of leaning back.
Yeah.
So both of you are under a slight angle.
Yeah.
It's like a still shot, but you're both under a slight angle.
Yeah, and practically what he did, because he was shooting at the time, so we would work. We get up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and Michael would make the porridge, and then we would have our breakfast. And we lived together for 2 weeks, I think, and we would just run it all day, every day. Every day we would do a few pages. Get them off, run them. Like, it was insane. If anybody had been watching us, they would have locked us up for being insane.
Well, we have to do it in one shot and to be believable.
Yeah. Well, we had no room for error.
Yes, and Fassbender is, in that film particular, he's like this character larger than life.
Yeah. An icon in Ireland.
An icon, yeah. So you have to, as I was watching it, I was like, nobody else couldn't do that with Fassbender at that level.
He got lucky, not me.
Yeah. Exactly.
In fact, Michael told me his father said, who's a German guy, because Michael was born in Heidelberg, you know. And just because I've been doing this longer than Michael, and Michael said, when I told my dad who was playing the priest, he said, "You better have your shit together for that guy."
Yeah.
So he said he frightened me when he said it, my dad.
Yeah.
But we had a great time. We bonded very quickly, and 28 pages.
Yeah, and exactly, and the development of the dialogue, because in the beginning you have this small talk going on.
Yeah, it's all back. It's like tennis, just back and forward.
Which actually gives an audience this suggestion of that you have a past together.
Yeah.
You have a history.
He's supposed to be the prison chaplain, so you know, Bobby Sands, they would have seen him around the.
Yeah, but for people who don't know, this is actually your only scene in the film.
Yeah.
This is the first time you're in it.
It's the whole third of the film, you know, which is the scary bit.
Yeah. So you're showing up at that. So we have to find all the information we need to know has to happen in that dialogue.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
And that was the only the one thing. I mean, the greatest compliment myself and Michael got were the amount of questions of, did you guys improvise that scene? No, we did not.
Zero improvisation.
There was none whatsoever.
Wow.
There was a couple, when in rehearsals, the one request that I made that Steve agreed to, because as you're dead right, the banter at the beginning and the small talk, that goes on for 8 pages. I remember looking at it. And the reason I remember that was because in the script, it's news to the priest. Then when he says we're going on hunger strike, because that was actually the second hunger strike, the first one they called off, and he's surprised in the original, and I went, I think it's much more interesting that he already knows, and we just literally instead of him going, what?
Yeah,
I went, I changed it. It may have been the only line I changed in it, where I said, I heard that, all right.
Yeah, because now knowing how this hunger strikes ends, and having this conversation, so you at that scene also confronting him like you confronted Melisandre, but here confronting him about his hunger strike, about
on his faith,
sin, on his faith, the sin, his son.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, his mates or whoever, you know, there was like he was like the first in line of 70 something plus people who put their name down for the hunger strike.
And the thing that you can't really touch on in the film is people say it was an IRA hunger strike. It wasn't. Nobody wanted these people to go on hunger strike. Obviously, the Irish government didn't want them. The English government didn't want them. Sinn Féin didn't want them. The IRA didn't want them to go on the hunger strike because they thought their strategy would unravel, because their political strategy, because it was going to get emotional. They knew it was going to get emotional, and then they could lose the reins of what they were trying to do. So I had sat with Mick McFarlane in Belfast, who was the negotiator on behalf of the hunger strikers, and I sat him down and looked him in the eye because he was negotiating for the death of his friends and what they wanted. And he was a prisoner as well, and to be the negotiator, he couldn't go on hunger strike. So the pressure he was under from everywhere, including his compadres, including everyone, he represented these strikers, and the pressure, well, it must have been immense. The emotional pressure, leaving aside where your loyalties are, but just to look at it and that's what I was quizzing him on, and. He's been interrogated by MI5, by the special branch. I mean, he's gone through it all. But nobody was asking him, how did you feel about it? What what pressure? The pressure must have been immense on it, and I wouldn't let it go. I kept at him because he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I said, I need to know this stuff. I'm going to be playing this. I want to do the job properly. And this is a guy who was a convicted bomber. He murdered. He blew up bombs and blew up people and all that, and he was a really nice guy. We used to see him playing guitar in the pub on a Monday night. He has a residency, and this is a guy. It was just like, this is not a world that I inhabit.
Yeah,
and these people scar themselves for life. I'm sure it's happened here, and they take it with them. They'll watch children, the sacrifice they made for the laughter of their children. Whichever side you're on, and those stakes, those emotional stakes, are incredibly high.
So that was in the hunger strike was in 1981 or something.
1981.
1980, So but film before that with Ken Loach. Well, first of all, what is it like to work with Ken Loach?
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah,
it's anarchy. Do you want me to give you an example?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. Every cinematographer wants to work with, and we had Barry Ackroyd, right, who did United 93, The Hurt Locker, blah, 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 like Hollywood stuff, big stuff. So, this is how he works. You audition like for hours. You're sweating when you come out of auditions, not because of nervousness, because he makes you work. No scripts. He will sit down and talk to you for 20 minutes about a scenario, and you'll sit at a table and somebody will come in through the door who you've never seen before, and he's told them a different story about the same subject. And you sit there, like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And you discuss this particular set of problems that he's given you for your improvisational skills. A couple of mad things that will, if you're a filmmaker, will make you go, what? For instance, I got the script for When the Shakes the Barley a month after we finished filming.
What?
I am not joking.
How long did you film?
Well, the script was like a present, a gift after you finish filming. You walk on, you get up in the morning, you don't know what you're going to be doing. You just walk out and go, okay, what's today?
Yeah.
Francis Coppola used to do it a bit on Apocalypse Now and stuff, but that's because he couldn't keep up. I couldn't decide what he wanted to do. He does have a plan. He just doesn't let anybody know it.
Yeah.
So
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. On the set. Okay, so you're having a conversation with that young man over there. Barry will be on the camera, right? Ken will sit close to the camera, and he doesn't say action or cut because he doesn't like those because they're so and he's portraying life in chronological order. So you two, you kind of know you know what conversation you're going to have, or what dilemma there's going to be, or information that's new. And Ken does this. Okay, off you go. And he turns his back to you. And the first time I saw him, I looked up at Barry Ackroyd, our cinematographer, and I went, "What's that?" And he goes, and I pulled Barry aside, and I went, "What the fuck's going on?" And he goes, "He doesn't watch." And I go, "What?" I said, "Has he got a little monitor that I can't see?" "Nope, no monitor. Doesn't watch the action." I said, "What's he doing?" He said, "He's listening." And he listens for the truth. And he knows it's a bad take if the actors not even stumble, if the argument is not coming across, or the whatever it may be, the declaration of love, or whatever happens to be.
Yeah.
And I said, bit of responsibility on your shoulders then, isn't there? And he goes, "Oh yeah." He said, "I'm shitting myself every day because I don't know if I'm getting what I want, because he's not coming to me and go, no, I need the camera, blah blah blah," because he's not watching, and his editor will ring him and say, "Look, yes, that plan works, but we're missing a shot," and then he'll do a little bit of adjustment that way. But that's how, and Ken says, again, this is bizarre. He said the two most important people on the set are the focus puller and the boom op. And I'm going, what? And he, for the focus puller on the camera is always there's no remote, so it's not on a Bluetooth thing or whatever you want to call, Wi-Fi thing. He's connected on the. So because Barry's moving the camera around for whoever's talking, we don't know who's going to talk. Like, who's going to talk? So if somebody's talking there and then somebody starts, "You can't say that, there's an argument," he'll zoom the camera over, and then the boom up is looking. The focus puller, he's not watching the camera. It's all by feel, because he's watching where the lens is pointing. So he's got to do it by line of sight. So I'd say the guy couldn't eat with fear.
Yeah.
And then the boom up, because nobody puts on radio mics. Everybody wears radio mics all the time. I hate the fucking things. And but I understand it for quality and stuff. But nobody wears them because his characters wouldn't wear radio mics. So if we were discussing like this without these monstrous things, no, it's not in it. No, the actors can't see it. So it's not going to be doing that, because it's a distraction. So if we were talking like this, he'd be under the table.
Oh, okay.
So the focus puller spent most of his life lying down. It's the bizarrest thing. Yeah. And it's the most fantastic way of working.
Yeah.
It's so liberating. Because you're not sitting in a hotel room at 4 o'clock in the morning going, "I cannot get this fucking scene right. I can't." Blah, blah, blah. You're doing the work of everybody else while everybody else is sleeping. You're racking your brains trying to learn your lines. And
what's the difference between mics and boom mics? Is, as my friend told me about record play, about vinyls. He told me you can hear the space between the instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in these live scenes, you can feel the
distance.
The distance.
Yeah. There's more real, but it's rougher.
Yeah.
And technical people, all they want is a clean shot and no hairs in the gate.
Yeah.
And is the light? Did you walk into the light?
But when wind shakes the barley, is that kind of a film?
Yeah, there's a rough edge to it,
Yeah. There's so much roughness to it,
but it's also beautiful because he shoots
so
on
much
35.
chaos to it.
He shoots on 35, so it looks beautiful. All the stuff is done.
So
on 35.
in that particular scene, after the verdict in favor of the old lady, when the lady jury calls you back into in the office,
when we have the argument,
when you have the argument, this is where your character shines.
Yeah.
This is when you step up, and there's like this moment when you step into the shot.
Yeah, you can't do this. What are we chasing here? Yeah. What do we do this revolution for?
And you giving this moral compass to everyone, but to the audience also.
Yeah, that's Ken knows my politics.
Yeah.
I didn't have to dig deep for that.
Yeah.
we discussed, I've done some stuff. And
so now this is a segue to Palestine 36.
Yeah.
Palestine 36, because there's a line that you're actually saying in the film.
Yeah.
Say, we don't want another island on our hands.
The producer that got me involved, Kat, she's here, said that when they rang me about the role, because these sort of things, sometimes it's a good idea not to go through agents.
Because I just wanted to say, because the island you're referring to is actually the time from when
1916.
Yeah.
And before, when the original Easter Rising, revolt. And that's what Palestine 36 is about, the first Palestinian revolt. And, when she rang me up and said, I'm doing this film called Palestine 36, I said, I'm in. And she went, wait, let me tell you about the project. No, I'm in. I just said yes immediately. So that pig that I played, Charles Taggart, there was 6 assassination attempts on him in India. He was a counter-terrorism, that lovely word, thug, terrorist, government terrorist. That's what he was. And he was Irish. And the line you're referring to, she was the one who said, when you deliver that line, because I just throw it away, really. Yeah. It sent shivers down my spine. It refers to suppressing the Irish Revolution. And he said, we don't want another, which is exactly what happened. And here's the interesting thing. The soldiers that you see in The Wind That Shakes the Barley, because, the film is about the Irish Civil War after the Revolution, or the Rising, as they call it. Those soldiers, those exact soldiers, they were called Black and Tans, auxiliaries. They were basically paramilitaries, and they terrorised the Irish. They burnt down our second city and murdered people on the street, unarmed people, just bang, assassinated people. When the British left, 22, I think it was, those soldiers were put on boats, sailed into Palestine, and started doing to the Palestinians what they were doing. The same thing. Same soldiers. Did. So when people say, what the hell is this little island at the edge of Europe? Why do they shout so loudly about Palestinian self-determination? That's one example. And we know what settler colonialism is like, an occupation. So if I wasn't speaking up about it, I wouldn't be Irish. I'd be scum.
Yeah. As you say, I like to look myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your activism,
okay.
Because I put some timeline of things. So I'll mention one.
Oh, dear God.
You tell me.
You've done your research.
Yes.
Oh, shit. You're going to catch me out here.
Yeah.
Make me look like a fool.
Let's talk about, Artists for Palestine.
Yes.
Artists for Palestine. So, and the Freedom Flotillas. Let's talk about those two.
Well, they're both very important. Artists for Palestine was artists signing a letter that we would have nothing to do with any Israeli involvement in any film project.
It's a
festivals
cultural boycott of Israel.
100%. You can't. And the reason being, it's the same as being silent. If you don't do it, and I regularly, the phrase I use a lot is silence is complicity. This conflict, and they try and put it down to anti-Semitism, blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. It's not. For any sane human being, it's not about Arab and Jew or Israel and Palestine. It's about how we allow one group of people to treat another group of people. If the coin was flipped and the Palestinians were doing to the Israelis what is happening, I would be shouting in the opposite way.
Yeah,
it's about visiting violence and genocide and oppression and racism and apartheid on people, and we're better than that as human beings. If you are either silent or you go to these cultural events or be involved in, you're giving them approval. You're saying, yeah, it's okay. We don't like it, but, self-defense, that bullshit. It's not self-defense. It's thuggery and terrorism. So the very least we could do as artists is say, we're not going near you. If you behave like that, why the hell would you expect artists and creative people to applaud you, which is what you're doing, If you go to Israel, perform in Israel, you're saying, well done, love what you're doing. And you can hide behind, music brings people together. We know the bands we're talking about, go over. That bullshit. It's, it's to appease some people in the industry, some people with a lot of money, and there's a lot of cowardice.
The other thing was you traveled down to Sicily in 2025, right? Yeah, because
and Barcelona a couple of times.
Yeah, because you have a high-profile face to bring some attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
To what's going on. So, and did you board on Madeleine or not?
No. The Madeleine was blown up in where was it blown up in Tunisia?
Tunisia. Yeah.
So that was before the Sicily.
Yeah.
And before the two.
We're talking about Freedom Flotilla.
Yeah, the Global Freedom Flotilla. Yeah. Global Samud Flotilla.
Yes.
Yes. Also, I do separate my professional life than my activism, shall we say? So I don't. I'm not running around with kafias and Palestinian flags on the set.
Yeah.
And I'm contracted. So I couldn't go on the flotilla because I would have been in an Israeli gulag when I'm supposed to be on set.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do that, and I'd already contracted to do that, which is why I had to take Conor McGregor out. It's very honourable, and the thing with the flotilla was we were doing the job that the international community is supposed to do. They are under legal obligation, that in the event of a genocide being suspected, that they are supposed to, they are legally obligated to do everything in their power to break that, even potential genocide, the suspicion of genocide. So that should have been the navies of the world bringing food, breaking that blockade, not fighting, but just saying humanitarian aid, the whole lot, and they're all cowards. So nobody on that flotilla wanted to be there. The flotilla was failure, not because it didn't make it, because it started. It was failure.
Yeah.
And it should have been governments and the people who represent us.
And just to touch a little bit upon our political views and stances before our interview ends, you also have support for union struggle and healthcare.
Of course.
And healthcare. So just briefly mention those two things.
Well, the whole thing about it, if we're paying our taxes, we're not paying our taxes.
You refuse to have private medical insurance.
How did you know that?
Well, I researched it.
Yeah, I don't. So if I get sick, I could die here. And it'll be your fault.
Yeah.
Hopefully do you know CPR?
I actually do.
Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I don't have, nobody in my family has. Because I pay my taxes for that. I pay my taxes for schooling. And everything, you can talk about, the left and, I don't like the left and the woke left. You wouldn't have a 5-day week working. You wouldn't have maternity leave. You wouldn't have free education. You wouldn't have holidays without the left. The right are never going to give you those sort of things.
Exactly.
They're not even on the business side. They're not even evil. They're just greedy. So they don't want to give anything if they don't have to. So that's without a left, we'd all be in trouble. We wouldn't have a life. We wouldn't be educated because it's not cost effective. It's not profit driven. So of course you have to fight for that, and you have to fight for people who don't have a voice, and you have to embarrass the right. You have to say what's fair. The society should be a meritocracy, and everybody can go, but it isn't. That's fantasy. No, it's only fantasy if it's not here.
Yeah.
There's lots of things that we look at the National Health Service in Britain. It's the most genius thing that the British ever did after World War II. It was in Iron Bevan, I think it was, where everybody had free access to healthcare. And now you can see what's happening. They're undermining it. The right, even Labour and all that, they're all undermining it because business knows there's a lot of money to be made in healthcare in the UK. Look at the state of America. The vast majority of bankruptcies are medical bankruptcies. People can't pay their medical bills. So they're bankrupt trying to get themselves well. And when they get themselves well, they have no home. I mean, in what world is that a reasonable way of doing business? It's and that's corruption in my mind. Yeah. And it's not democracy. It's a kleptocracy. Look at the boys taking over in the tech world. That are taking them off. Those
tech oligarchs.
Yeah, the oligarchs. Yeah, I think we need to go to France and get the rust off the guillotine.
Now now there's like a new brothership between tech oligarchs.
Instead of let them eat cake, let them eat GPU. got you with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Just came up with that. I should write that down.
There's new brothership between tech oligarchs and authoritarian regimes.
They are the authoritarian regime.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
They are taken. They control who goes in front. How much did Peter Thiel donated? 250 million to J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is Peter Thiel's boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So our time, unfortunately, is up.
And I've depressed enough people.
No, you didn't. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your goodwill. Very nice to meet you too. Thank you for everything you're doing, and thank you in general for who you are.
Very kind of you.
Thank you.
I almost believe you.
That's it. Bye.
All right. Thank you.